Okay, so we are starting a new unit this week, and it is your Project 2 unit. Project 2 and Project 3 kind of feed into each other. So you'll notice on the read first information that it also asks you to read the Project 3 assignment sheet, and I posted it up in this week's module. We'll go over that in detail when we actually get to Project 3, but I just wanted you to kind of see where this project was leading to, because you will use all of the information you gather for Project 2 when you write your Project 3. So it would help to just kind of read through that to see where it's going. But Project 2, your ultimate outcome is a thing called a literature review, which, if you haven't done one yet, we will go over in detail throughout the weeks of this unit. Um, but this week, we're focusing on a portion of the literature review, which is going to be an annotated bibliography. So most of the work for this week is related to that part of the assignment. But let's go through the actual overall assignment just so you have an idea of it. So you're going to be creating a literature review about a subject or like a controversial discussion in your field. So the literature review is a paper that's important for a lot of different careers. You will probably do a literature review for some class at some point, no matter what your academic goals are. This is a paper, it's kind of in an essay format, but not really, where you are reviewing past literature on the subject. So what have other people written about your topic? And you're giving information to somebody who might not know about your topic, um, like about the actual conversation happening. So there's three things that you're being asked to do for your literature review. And again, we'll look at examples of what this looks like in the coming weeks. But the first thing that you need to do, and this is what you need to do now in order to do even your annotated bibliography, is to identify a conversation that's happening in your field where there is controversy, disagreement, or difference in approach. So down here you can see controversy does not mean like a fight that's happening. What it means is that there's not an agreement yet. So, for instance, in biology, there's a bit of a controversy around the definition of the word life, right? As the scientists cannot agree on what exactly constitutes life. And so in the literature, you'll see that there is a difference in opinion around what life means. Maybe if you are a business major, there might be a disagreement happening about sales techniques or stocks or investments or something like that. I'm not a business major, so I don't know what y'all are talking about. But you're looking for something where there is differing opinions, because you're going to want to analyze different opinions. Okay. For the literature review, you're also going to summarize the articles. So you're working on that as part of your annotated bibliography. You're going to be summarizing articles. But in your literature review, that summary will kind of change and look a little different. It'll be more like in an essay format where you're kind of just going through the summaries. And then you're synthesizing that material. So in the end of your literature review, you're going to kind of write about, like, what does it mean? Where is it going? What can we do in the future? Like, where is this conversation going? So that'll be your literature review. Again, this week and most of next week, you're just working on the annotated bibliography, which will feed into your literature review. So you can read through this, but you need to focus on the controversial aspect. And again, every piece that you look at, every piece of literature that you look at should be a peer-reviewed journal, or I'm allowing you to use books as well, because those go through a peer review process as long as they're scholarly books. And in the end, you're going to help professionals and scholars make decisions about the topic. And this is what will lead into your Project 3, which is a research proposal. And I say that right here. Go ahead and read the assignment sheet so you can see where it's going. The format, it needs to be about 15 to 1800 words. This is going to be about 5 to 6 pages of writing, not including your references page. Your annotated bibliography will not be a part of that, but everything you do for your annotated bibliography can be used in your literature review, if that makes sense, which it will, I suppose, in the coming weeks when we look at that a little bit more. So what you really need right now is to know that you're summarizing 6 peer-reviewed articles or books. We're going to do 3 this week and 3 next week for your annotated bibliography. They need to include multiple perspectives. That means Sorry, it always cuts me off. The articles that you review need to include multiple perspectives. So remember, you're identifying some kind of controversy or disagreement in your field. And so you need to present both, or if there's more than both, all of the sides of that. If there's a pro and con situation happening, then you should be splitting up your resources into 3 pros and 3 cons. You're not creating an argument for this paper. You are summarizing what other people have done for this paper. So that's what I'm saying here. You are not trying to support an argument. So you're not proving anything to me. Therefore, you don't need to pick a side. Instead, you're seeing what is all out there and you're summarizing it for this assignment. So whatever the disagreement is that's happening, you need to present all of the sides as part of your summary. And then the other 2 of these are part of the lit review, which are not so important for the annotated bibliography we're doing right now, but establishing exigence, so the urgency in your controversy, like why is this a big deal? Why do we care? Why does it matter? And why will we want to do anything about it in the future? And that'll be part of your literature review because you need to write kind of an introduction into the idea. And then at the end, you'll do a conclusion where you kind of analyze what you've learned. And so the analysis here is you're just kind of, again, you're not giving argument and you're not picking a side, but you are analyzing, like, what is the research finding? What are the gaps in knowledge that might be happening? Is there disagreement about like some of the material feeding into these conversations? And then you'll draw a conclusion on your own of like, where do you think it is going? So it's a big project. We're breaking it down into chunks. You'll have 4 weeks to do this. The first 2 weeks, we're only focused on the annotated bibliography portion. The last 2 weeks, you will transform your annotated bibliography into your literature review, and you'll do 2 drafts of that for this assignment. So you'll have plenty of time to kind of work with the material, read through the material. Reading 6 peer-reviewed articles is a lot. They're very dense, as you might have realized from your first project. So I'm breaking that down into 2 weeks where you have a lot of time that you can dedicate to reading through these articles. As always, if you have questions, comments, concerns, you don't understand anything from this assignment, reach out to me as soon as possible. I'm happy to help. We can email, we can Zoom, whatever it is that you need.